Man, talk about survival, right? 2 months in hell. That's heavy stuff, guys. Welcome to the channel, The Modern Survivalist. As always, what I do here is realistic, practical survival and preparedness. For that, I recommend the content of the channel. Leave your questions if you have any suggestions for future videos. I always recommend my book, Surviving the Economic Collapse, based on my experience going through just that in Argentina, as well as street survival skills. In street survival skills, one of the first chapters, this is chapter 1, page, over there. So the good old rule of 3. What is it that you get from the rule of 3? You survive, 3 minutes without air, even though there's people that can do that for 15 minutes or more, right? Experts at regulating and deep sea diving and whatnot. So humans can be extraordinary at times. But rule of 3 says 3 minutes without air, 3 hours exposed to extreme weather and climate conditions, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. That is kind of like a basic guideline in terms of priority, right? But it's not written in stone. It's not like 3. This guy survived for over 2 months, 67 days. He survived without anything to eat in the Sea of Oshkrat somewhere. Oshkran Sea? Where's it? That's a sea I've never heard of before. But Sea of Okhotsk. I suppose it's close to Russia somewhere, very cold, given that they could not get any food. But anyway, this man survived 67 days without eating anything, just floating in a raft. It is wrong. It is a sad story because he was along with his brother and his nephew. His 15-year-old nephew was with him, and he did not survive. Why? Well, because things that we've covered here in a channel where we are dedicated to survival and preparedness. I've talked many times before about how likely it is for you to survive or not when there's no food. And there's usually the joke of, I have my food supplies already stored. And it kind of is true, yes. If you're overweight, that's your body putting aside calories for whenever you don't have them. Now, this is not like, go be a fat motherfucker. You're going to ruin your health far more than your chances of surviving in a raft in the middle of the Oshkrat, whatever, sea. That is extremely unlikely to happen, right? Well, watchers, so no, don't do that. But it is true that your body is wise in terms of the extra calories. It saves it in terms of fats, and fat has a lot of water in it as well. So it's calories, it's fat being stored in your body, water, just in case something like this happens. Not being in a raft, but just not finding any damn food. So the man was with his nephew and his brother, right? And the nephew, look at him. This kid is very, very thin. The metabolic reality is also different. The metabolism of a teenager is going to be a lot faster than a grown man, an adult, which is a lot slower. So you need a lot more food to keep it going. And he looks very thin already. He's a thin kid, right? He was, unfortunately, a very thin kid. So he just starved. He just starved. And after he passed, the father, he just could not take it. And he just let himself go. He just went into the water, according to what the survivor said. And the man, after seeing his son, he just let himself go in the water and ended it. It has to be, hell seems like an accurate description. But the man survived. Why? Because he was 50 kilos overweight. That is almost like 100 pounds of fat on him. So he was overweight, he was fat. He was, 50 kilos overweight. That's close. It's not just being overweight. That's closer to obese. That obesity of him saved him from starving to death in the raft. And the health problems that come along with being obese or even overweight are significant. So it's never a wise thing to plan. You don't have the natural amount of fat that a fit person has is going to be more than enough to keep you alive for 3 weeks easily. 3-4 weeks. You're about any healthy, fit person with whatever percentage of fat you have going on that is not you being overweight, let alone obese. You have enough fat on your body as a healthy person to survive for 3 weeks easily. Enough. You're not going to starve to death in 3 weeks, right? There's cases, there's exceptions, this and that, but there's also the case of the guy from England that survived for over a year without eating anything because he weighed 350 kilos. He was a damn whale, and all of that fat allowed him to survive. It's a Guinness record. He was medically controlled. It's not, but in this case, the man with that amount of extra body weight was enough for him to survive. He was very malnourished, and he was about to not make it anymore, but he was found. And that's it. Damn, it is a tough story. It is very hard, but things that happen, right? And things we can also learn from. So that's what we try to do here. See you on our next video, guys. Take care.